Our first guest tonight is an Oscar-nominated actor you know from films like Nocturnal Animals and Revolutionary Road, as well as the HBO series Boardwalk Empire. He stars in the Showtime limited series George and Tammy. The finale airs January 8th. Let's take a look.
They said I love you till I die. She told him you'll forget in time. As the years went slowly by, she still preyed upon his mind.
Please welcome back to the show our friend Michael Shannon, everyone. Welcome back.
Thanks, Seth.
First guest of 2023.
2024.
Yeah.
I'd get in that DeLorean.
You would?
Yeah.
You're going a year into the future?
It was nice of you to go to the party with him.
Yeah. I mean, I worry about him.
Yeah.
He used to be America's mayor, and now I feel like he's a little down on his luck.
And senile.
Yeah. Where would you go if you had a time machine?
Oh, dear Lord. I would have liked to have been here in New York in the 70s.
Yeah. I think that people who are actually here in New York in the 70s think we're crazy for wanting that.
They do.
But I kind of agree with you.
I would have gone to CBGB's every night, you know.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy I am.
So it's interesting because that's what draws you. That's the kind of music you'd be drawn to, right? New York in the 70s. George Jones, you seem like a natural, but country music was not part of your growing up, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Kentucky, so thank you. It's just below the Mason-Dixon line.
That sounded like the wind going through a holler.
No, that's Mitch McConnell and Joe Biden down there right now.
I was like somebody blowing it over a jug.
Yeah. So ostensibly, I guess everybody from the South is supposed to be tremendously familiar with country music, but my only contact with it really was seeing it on Hee Haw every now and then. Watch Hee Haw on TV. So
did that make it easier to take on playing George Jones, that you didn't sort of grow up married to that music?
I suppose so, because it wasn't like I was trying to step into one of my idol's shoes, although as I was researching him and getting to know him better and better, I became quite fond of him, as you're, I guess, supposed to if you're playing somebody. But I guess at the outset, I didn't really know enough about it to be super intimidated, but the singing was very intimidating.
Because you're doing your own singing.
Yes.
You're obviously playing this great vocalist, not someone you're familiar with, and also I think people don't understand. It's wonderful to watch. I've loved what I've seen so far. You guys sound great, but of course, to film music, you've got to sing all day long.
Yes, and you have to sing ultimately to get the good sound on the track. You have to sing a cappella, which means that you have a little earwig in your ear and you can hear the song, but all the extras out in the audience just hear your voice. So you're singing a cappella in front of hundreds of strangers. And there was one particular day where we had, Jessica and I, we had a daytime outdoor concert, and then I had the same day a nighttime outdoor concert all by myself. And it was freezing cold, and our wonderful music producer, Rachel Moore, she said I was out there singing, 14, 15 hours. And she kept telling me, because we did have pre-recorded tracks that I could lip sync to, and she said, we've already got the track, stop, what are you doing? And I said, no, I think I can do it better. So I just kept doing it over and over and over again.
I really feel like doing it in front of strangers is my full nightmare. It would be like going to a karaoke bar where they say, the machine's down.
Right.
But we'd still love
you know the words, right?
You know the words,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's basically what it's like. Yes.
What was the music you listened to in your house growing up?
Oh, dear. Well, I mean, we didn't really, it was more of a TV house than a stereo house. I got a boombox around when I was 12 years old, a little tape player, and the first two tapes I bought were Phil Collins, No Jacket Required.
Yep, classic.
And Stevie Wonder, Part-Time Lover.
Really good start.
My first two cassettes, and I wore those out. And then when I started high school, I got into the jazz band and started playing bass, jazz bass, and really started getting into jazz music.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
What did you? I should have asked this when you first came out, but what did you do for New Year's?
Well, it was legal.
Great.
Yeah, yeah. You know, right now I'm doing a play here in New York, actually. We got one more week. It's called Des Moines, if you find yourself in Brooklyn. And anyway, we had 2 shows on New Year's Eve and 2 shows on New Year's Day.
Oh, wow. So there's not a lot of partying
No.
in between there.
No, after our nighttime show on New Year's Eve, I went to a restaurant down the street and had dinner by myself.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Are
They said, we're going to have a champagne toast at midnight. Would you like a glass? I said, no, I'm leaving. And I made sure that when it was midnight, I was walking down the sidewalk. to
Now,
my house.
are you approached when you have dinner alone on a sort of a festive night? Do you think people say, hey, that's Michael Shannon. I feel awful that he's there.
There were some people that came up and said hello, yeah, and then I told them to go away. Mind your own business, and don't feel sorry for me. No matter what you do, I'm fine.
Before, long before you found your way to George Jones, obviously you have this musical background. You were in a high school jazz band. You also busked here in New York City.
Well, it was Chicago. This
Oh,
is back in
Chicago.
Chicago.
All right,
This
so-
is back when I was acting for free, and 5
Okay.
people were coming to see the plays I was in, and I was trying to figure out how to get something to eat. So I had this little bongo, just like 2 little hooked up together like that, and I would go down and in the CTA. There's a stop, the Washington stop, that has a tunnel between the red line and the blue line. I would sit in this tunnel and play the bongos.
How'd you do?
Not well.
Yeah.
Not well.
Were you
That's a
good at
sense memory. It's coming back. I can't stop myself.
Oh, wait, don't stop.
Yeah, give me
We're-
some
we're gonna
bongos over here.
A bunch of change is going to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
chucked up here.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more from Michael Shannon.